3 sacral generator.
Hello, I'm Leah, 2/4 splenic projector.
This is Human Design Diaries, and
welcome
to our deconditioning process. What the fuck happened? This month has been a roller coaster. So many ups and downs. Huge factor was the full moon South Node Scorpio eclipse. I am South Node Scorpio, and I feel like I just got beat up. I feel like I've been crying most of the month. We also had Mercury retrograde, which really, I lost my glasses, and then I ended up getting these new glasses, and I just felt like wearing them today. I've been feeling like wearing them. I've been feeling like being more in my naturalness, my conscious sun, gate 10. Just kind of allowing life to be more simple. I got a Kabbalistic reading done, and he reminded me as a North Node Taurus to simplify life. And, Taurus season usually is not this rocky, but because of the eclipse, it felt like I really needed to ground back into my body. I got acupuncture done. I got another healing done. I got a massage for Mother's Day. That was probably the highlight of the month, was Mother's Day, because I actually allowed myself the day off. I have been doing readings back to back to back to back. And then we had our variable intensive this month, which was one of the most beautiful things. We finding people on your fractal is just the shit. It just is. It allowed both Leah and myself, who are both North Node Taurus and South Node Scorpios, to see our future. And I think that's what a lot of the eclipse energy really allowed. It allowed us to clear away a lot of karma with this South Node Scorpio eclipse, and then really allow us to come back into our center, because we are about to move, my friends. We are moving into a completely new nodal axis in July, and then in June, the nodal gates are changing. And so I think we're really coming into a place of finding harmony within our individual selves and our relationship with self as we transition into this new nodal axis, and the types of relationships we want to have with the other. I feel like the eclipse energy was really relationship focused, and Taurus season really allowed us to come back into who we want to be as an individual. How do we want to prosper?
So, May. I think I said in the April Design Diaries that I was kind of excited for May to happen. But I wouldn't say that it's been a bad month. I think that it's just been a month of hermit mode. I've done a lot of healing. I had shoulder surgery for my second time on my shoulder on May 8th. And actually had like a really good experience. Like basically the center that I got my surgery done at, all the nurses and everything were fantastic. I felt really relaxed. I didn't feel anxious or anything going in to have the surgery done. And when I left that whole day, I was actually in a really great mood. Obviously I had like nerve blocker and working off anesthesia and everything, but I feel like I had to let go of a lot of the reins of control. And being a mom of 2 girls and a wife, and I do stay home. I do work, but not a typical 9-to-5 job. I find myself having to have control over everything, like know where everything is, know everybody's schedule, do all the things. But I kind of had to release that control this past month to my husband, to allow him to take control and figure things out and pick up the slack for me, because I was out of commission for a couple weeks. While I'm recording this, it's the 27th, and I haven't slept in my own bed since the 8th. So I know this is more human designy, but I've heard in the past, projectors should sleep alone. And not that I don't disagree, But I do understand how like being in your own little bubble is really nice. So, but I think that because I was healing and because I wasn't sleeping well, that kind of like was an imbalance. But I spent a lot of time working on our website, spent a lot of time working on some new projects that we're doing and revamping some of the old content that we have. But I just haven't really felt in the mood to like create in terms of, like big projects or new projects or anything. I think I was still working through Mercury retrograde. And there was a lot of times where I was just like allowing myself to just be and read and be home. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in hermit mode. So I don't really have a whole lot to talk about as far as like huge events that have happened for me in May. But I just, because I've been working so hard, because through the transits, I had a defined root, defined sacral. I feel like I was pushing myself, pushing, loading up my schedule and not allowing myself enough of a break. So May has felt like the month of breaks for me. And that's fine because sometimes I don't even get that. So I think it was due. I think I'm realizing that some things need to kind of go. And I was loading my schedule up so much, and a few of my cleaning clients have moved on to other people, and that's totally fine. It's just, I was realizing that I was saying yes to a lot of things that I shouldn't have. And that's just the way it goes. So
I actually created a little lavender oil. And that felt good. It felt good to connect back to the earth. I think it's something that I'm going to make part of my like kitchen's witch, routines, is creating my own oils and even growing my own herbs. I'm like really getting in touch with my environment, and it's been a really, really beautiful thing. And I was also able to really connect with my family. My husband was teaching my oldest son, my manifestor, how to ride a bike. He's guilt motivation, and I feel like he's the perfect person to be doing these types of things with our kids, because it allows him to see like where things need to be adjusted or approved, improved, all of it. I'm just really grateful for my family. My youngest son has been doing tumbling. That's a comedy show in itself because he's a third line, and he also has an undefined heart in a family of defined hearts. And he's just always trying to be the best in a lot of ways. And I always love when I get to see him just be in his generator response and just enjoy and pleasure and love. And so we also had New Moon Taurus, which was in such a weird spot it was basically at the end of Taurus season, we had New Moon Taurus. And wow, we did a ritual in our cosmic community. We did a sigil. The flame was like this big. And it lasted for a good few hours. It went all the way down to the nub. And I felt like there was some sort of activation happening in my throat. Right now, it really feels like at the end of this month that a lot of things have just been like building up. And I feel like something is about to be really released. And I'm just excited to see like what the summer is going to bring. Like Gemini season came in real hot at the end of this month. And I feel like everybody's in conversation. Is mingling together. And I'm just ready for a little bit of relaxation, which is going to be in June. We're going to be traveling and definitely keep you in the know on what's going on. And I'm ready to kind of like settle. Like my sacral needs a little bit of a break. And my defined heart also needs a little bit of a break. But I guess if I were to think about what this month has really been about, it's been about release. I mean, that eclipse energy was such a highlight. We also had Pluto retrograde also, like so many retrogrades this month. I mean, they're all going to start happening. And I'm just like, okay, what do we need to see maybe a new perspective? I think that's what the glasses were about. What do we need a new perspective on? And how can we come home to this next version of self? There's always a type of newness that I feel like has to constantly be coming in each month on upgrading not only myself, but you guys too. Like we get these opportunities with these cycles to upgrade. And so
summer break is coming up. We don't get out of school until almost the end of June. So it's kind of good timing that I'm able to take some time to myself and allow myself the actual time to heal and that process in itself. So the only other thing that happened, which was pretty funny because I have this sitting here, is we did a new moon ritual for the last new moon that we just had. And we did a candle ceremony in our cosmic community, and Maureen, who is one of our members, and she did the crystal grid and magic class with Krystle, and we lit candles. And so I did my sigil, which the sigil was I have a healthy and healing shoulder, and I carved it into the candle, and then I lit the candle, and it only burned halfway, and it basically was like, this isn't ready to happen. And I actually ended up having a slight infection in one of my incisions, which the candle was like, you're not ready. Like, this isn't the time. So coincidentally, and I also think through magic, it was telling me, you got to work on making sure you're fully healed and, using whatever medicine you need to get healthy. So I'm on antibiotics. It seems to be working great. And I'm not going to light another one until I'm past all of this. But I just thought that was pretty funny. Like, I didn't know there was a block. And I did the candle and it didn't go all the way through. And it was like, no, there's something blocking you here. And that's what it was. So I just thought that was an interesting little thing that happened. So there's not much else that I have to say. We are pumped to get the doors open to the cosmic community again from June 1st to June 3rd, and then take the summer to kind of revamp all of our stuff. And there's going to be some cool things coming in the fall, so stay tuned for that. And I think that's about it. That's all I have to share.
I guess let's see where June takes us.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, you're not gonna drink that, are you?
Yeah.
Seems like a waste of lots of things. Ta-da! I hope you use the audio. And just think, you too can do this at home.